welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 Restoration channel. For those of you new to the channel, my name's Barry. Right, well, last week we were having trouble with our clutch. Primarily wear and tear in the pins, the fingers and the little pads. Little pads here that the roller bearings run on from the fingers. As you can see, not much left of the clutch anymore. We've stripped it right out. And I was talking in that video with regard to the fact that because of the wear and tear in all of the components for that clutch, it looked as though I'd have to get a replacement clutch pressure plate at a price of £300 plus VAT plus postage, which would probably come to nearer £400. John Moore emailed me through the week and he says, I have a pressure plate off a Davy Brown 990 that you can have free of charge. He says, give us a bell back, and he gave us his phone number, give us a bell back and we'll make some arrangements to get it up to you. Well, it arrived the other day. Here it is here. So I opened this up and I thought that it was all my birthdays had come at once. I thought this was going to be a straight plate swap. My pressure plate off, this pressure plate on. Job's a good one. When I picked it up I realised that it was for a smaller plate. This one is for a 10-inch plate and mine is an 11-inch plate with a 10-inch friction, with a 10-inch PTO plate in it. However, we're going to take this to bits today because we might be able to use the fingers and the pins and possibly the little caps. These little caps, we might be able to use those off that. So we're going to take it to bits without a press and without the flywheel and studding. What we've got here, I've got a bit of angle iron on top of here with a hole drilled through it. Underneath I've got a bigger bit of angle iron spanning the drive plate, the drive pressure plate, and also the PTO release plate, which is that one. And what I've done at the minute, I've just pulled this up tight so that the plates are all level. It's not touching the rim yet, but these plates are level. God, they're heavy, these things. I've took the weight off the fingers here with the studding, right? So what we're going to do now, I'm going to pop this up on a bit of wood just so I can get to it. I've made a little bit of a start. I've pulled all the 6 split pins out of the pins in here. I've took the release disc off the top. You just loop the little springs off the little clip fingers here. Get that out the way. Putting that in, I've greased the threads in here. I've greased the threads up. It stops the galling. This isn't high tensile. It is just it's cheap thread bar from my local hardware store. And what we need to do, we need to put a little bit more pressure on it to bring the plates up. Take the pressure off here. We're going to bump these pins out with a punch, which will allow the fingers will shoot forward because of the rattle springs, but there isn't the pressure of these springs is being maintained by this stud bar, not these at the moment. So we can pop these out. Let's have a quick look here. We'll knock these pins out of here. As I say, these will move forward as they come out, but all they're going to move forward on is the rattle springs, like that. And then you pull that out and it just pops forward There we go. Now we might get that out, we might not. No, we'll not, because this plate is strong. But you can see that's out. Let's have the rest of them out now. Just nice and easy. That's it, that's popped. Watch your fingers in here, because that's still under, still quite a bit of tension off them rattle springs. There's a little bit of wear in there, but nowhere near as bad as the ones that I've got. Right, let's get the third one out. That's it. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to tip this plate up. I'm going to get my nut gun and we're going to start and release this. Release it carefully underneath. Let's show you. Underneath here I've got two nuts locked together, lock nuts. We're going to put the nut gun on this end. Watch the stud must turn. If the stud stops turning, stop doing what you're doing. What you don't want to do is release the tension, the stored energy that's in these springs against your wrist. It will break your wrist. So let's have a look here. I'm going to put a spanner on that end. There we go. Nut gun. Let's have a bit of wood under there. Put my nut gun on and release this slowly. This will allow your two pressure plates inside to start to come out, and allow the springs to begin to expand. Because of the length of the stud bar, this will come all the way to bits. So let's see, if we have a look at them, we'll do some measuring up on these. But they're not, those roller bearings are good. Those ones are good. We'll give this a good clean so we can have a look at the holes. Let's have a cloth. Well, they don't look too bad then. Okay. Let's put all the springs in the box here out the way. The 3 pins are worn, not badly, not as bad as mine. The pins are 1/4 diameter. So have a look in the middle, and there's been no wear action. 248, 236, 12 thou worn out of them. Which isn't bad, that's not a lot. That looks worse there. the wear is there, mainly where the fingers sit, 233 there. The middle is 249, which is raw, and the edge that fits into the pressure plate is 242. Okay, we'll pop them into that box for the time being. What we've got here, 248, 269, that's 19,000, that one, isn't it? Right, tell you what, let's grab the other ones. Here's my old ones, and the longest side is 296. This in its longest side is 264. $32,000 difference. So they're a hell of a lot better than mine. So let's have a look. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use those fingers and replace mine. Let's have a look at this now, because my rattle springs are nearly worn through. No, they're good. Those rattle springs are good. So we'll use them. Clear that out of there. I don't know if John had said this was supposedly a refurbished plate. No, you're saying that's a brand new bearing in there. So we'll have that bearing out. Let's get the bearing out of here. There we go, so clip out. Little punch. We'll get this bearing out. I'll put it in a bag with a message on it, so we know what it's come out of. Brand new, that. Okay, put that over there. Well, what have I just done with pliers? We'll pop this back in here so we know where it is. There we go. Right, let's have a look at they're looking good, fettle. So, let's have one of them off him. And we'll try them for comparison. We'll try these for comparison on ours and see if they're a good size. Oh, 3/8, man. 3/8, same little ones. Funny, I always thought that they were 1/2 inch. Underneath these little wear plates is shim packs, and you can alter the height of your fingers by altering these shim packs. I think I'm right in saying for every thou you put under here you gain 45 thou on the end of the finger. So, right. Let's have a look at mine. Because you can alter these as well. In the tractor, apparently. I wouldn't like to try it, but I reckon you can. Okay. Will that one fit on there? Yes, it will. That one goes straight over. Okay. Let's just keep everything together. So we know, I'll just leave that just nipped. And we'll put all of that back in there so we know where all of that is when we come to need it. A lot more shims in this one than there is in my original. I've centre punched one of these before I took it to bits there. Centre popped that, centre popped that, and I've also centre popped the cover there, so that when it goes back together it can all go back in the same orientation that it came to bits. Right, we're going to take fingers to bits today. First thing we're going to do is release the retaining spring for the clutch, for the throwout disc. Pop that there. There's little washers on either side of these to keep everything in place. They look fairly good springs, them. Right, anti-rattle springs. Oh dear me, these anti-rattle springs fit into the pin that runs through the middle of your little roller bearing. They're in good fettle. Okay, now tiny little circlips on that pin. I hate it when bits drop off. You always think you're dropping something. Can we get in there? Yeah, we can. This one's good. That looks all nice, fresh grease. Anti-seize grease, copper grease in there. You don't want to be losing any of these. It is, that's copper slip. Again, there's a bit of wear in there. You get the impression these plates are replaceable. They look like they're riveted on. I bet they are, but they're all just riveted together. They're in good fettle. My originals are chewed to bits up on the end. Right, there we go. And in this little old loaf tin, we've got all the springs from my original clutch in there, soaking in diesel. Loosen them up, we'll give them a wire brush. We'll give them maybe 24 hours in there. Then we'll give them a wire brush. In my bags, 3 bags here. These are my original fingers that I've stripped out. And we've got the fingers off the replacement clutch that John sent us. We're busy stripping them out, and then we will see what's the best that we have of the other items, and we'll make a set of fingers up out of that. So a few hours later, we've got the pressure plate, PTO plate, the cover, fingers, springs, all been wire wheeled and washed in diesel. Still got, I would like to get a wire brush to go down inside the springs yet, but we'll see. Okay, there's a bit of cleaning up to do here. I couldn't get in with the wire brush, so I've got to get in with the drill and try and get a little wire brush in to get that cleaned out of there. We'll see. Right, well, that's taking my clutch to bits. What we're going to do now, we will give this a good clean up. We will get some bits swapped over. We will rebuild my clutch with these bits, and we will set the finger height. So the pins, just standard stock quarter, right, just there, fraction under, eighth thou under, and these are 2 3/16 long. So all we'll do, we will get ourselves some PGS bar, make some new pins for them. Okay, as I say, due to the generosity of John Moore, we've got some parts that we can look at having a go at repairing our clutch. So I would like to say a big thank you to John Moore, who very generously sent that clutch up to us. Even though it's the wrong size, we have been able to get some parts out of it that we can use to repair our clutch with. So a big thank you, John. It just proves there are some very kind, thoughtful people in the world that is willing to help other people out when they need it. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for visiting. Hope you found it useful. What we're going to do now, we're going to work our way through all the parts, get everything good clean up. We'll do some measuring, get some replacement bits and pieces, and then we'll see if we can get my clutch put back together with the replacement parts, with some of the new parts that we've got coming, and we'll just see if we can solve our problems with the clutch. So as I say, please, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, tell your mates. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe. It helps us out tremendously, it really does, and the channel has grown very nicely with your support. We really do appreciate all of our viewers' time to drop in and see what we're doing. So we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget now, don't overthink it, it's just nuts and bolts. See you next time. Bye now.